Hi, it's Maureen Joy from Maureen Joy Healing Journey on Facebook. I hope you join me if you're not a part of the community already. We talk about healing, empowering tools to navigate life, living in recovery, law of attraction. Today, I wanted to focus on something that myself personally and many people out there experience. I've been managing it since I'm a teenager. Seasonal affective disorder. It's known as SAD, SAD. And basically, that's what it makes you sad, very depressed. It's a winter depression and it comes from the darker days and the onset of darker days and the colder days of winter, the snow, the gloom. Some of us don't have the amount of serotonin in the brain that allows you to manage situations that are not exciting and like a sunny beautiful day brings out the best in you, and I'm one of those people. So I have been researching seasonal affective disorder before they even knew what it was. They didn't even have a name for it. One of the things I found out was the benefit of light therapy. It's amazing. They're full spectrum lights, and they're sessions that you do. You can get them anywhere. You can just Google full spectrum lights for seasonal affective disorder. 30 minutes in the morning when you wake up, and what happens is you're sitting in front of the lights. I do it at my desk. The light goes in through the retina, by the way, very safe. It raises the endorphin serotonin that I was just talking about in the brain, and it's a feel good endorphin, so it makes you feel better. Is it a happy pill? No. Neither is medication. It's not a happy pill. But it does take the edge off. It allows you to function, whereas otherwise you wouldn't be able to, and that's really important. If you don't know exactly what you're experiencing, but you're feeling down in the winter, if you also have extreme fatigue, if you have cravings more than usual for carbs and sweets and things that are not good for you, if you are more irritable, if the things that you enjoyed or that you normally enjoy, you no longer enjoy, or at this time you're not really interested in, that's a sign. If you're having difficulty with your relationships, another sign. There are others out there. You can go look it up. I'm not going to just sit here and list symptoms. I just want you to know that if you're experiencing something like this, you're not alone. Now we have a plethora of information out there. We have tools. We have people who know about this. There is support out there. There is medication out there. The lights that I just mentioned, the wonderful there are therapists now who actually understand about seasonal affective disorder. Before they didn't. Luckily, there's depression support groups, which it is a depression, it is a winter depression, and it mimics bipolar because you're up in the summer and you're crashing down in the winter. So you can go into one of those support groups as well. I think it's important to be aware if you find that it's more challenging to do your everyday tasks, if your functioning is a little bit off, if you've noticed things are slipping and you normally see the glass is half full and now you're like, I'm not real happy about the cloudiness I'm looking through, that's a sign too. What happens is if you're using things like words of never, always, everything, nothing. These are words that show you're in a position where you're stuck and you're downward spiraling. Whenever you're catastrophizing, that's what those words do. I never get to do this. Everything is always going to be like this. Nothing ever feels good. Those are really good trigger words to know you're spiraling downward and you need some help. This isn't something that you can do without support. You can't just wish it away. I'm sorry. You can't just say, I will it to go away. It won't happen. It's a real chemical imbalance in the brain. It's not your personality, it's not your character. It's only a brain chemical imbalance. Just like diabetes and high blood pressure is the body's chemical imbalance, okay? It's all it is something that's not working in that area, whether it's the mental capacity or the physical capacity. It has nothing to do with the person or who they are. And I think that's really important to know. There's not the same stigma out there anymore. So if you have something going on, get help. Ask for help. Do something about it. That's why I'm putting this video out there. I know there are other people suffering and they're not able to really put a finger on what's going on. And people weren't always willing to talk about things. But I think it's really important that you step up and you own something and you share something. And if you've gone through things that I've gone through and you make it to the other side somehow, I feel it's our obligation to share that with other people who walk in our shoes. To me, that's really important. My mission statement is always to raise awareness and increase empathy for survivors of all walks of life, which is pretty much a lot of us, if not all of us. But getting back to seasonal affective disorder, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The light therapy, the support, medication if you need it, whatever you need, there is a way to manage it. Myself personally, I have a very extreme case. And I literally had a doctor write on a prescription pad, go to Florida because I need the sun. I don't need to lay in it. I always lay under an umbrella, but with a big hat on, I mean, I don't bake in the sun, but I need the feeling of the sun coming in. I need to see it through the window. That in itself allows me to feel at my optimal self is basically where I'm at. My norm, I do better in warmer climates, and not only warmer climates, but sunnier climates. So that's just me personally. You need to find out what works for you. So I usually leave in the winter, but because of COVID, I happened to get sick for 2 months. Not happy about that at all, by the way, because that compounds what I'm dealing with. When you're dealing with a depression and you're dealing with COVID depression, it's like walking uphill carrying bricks, and somebody keeps going, oh, here, have another brick, have another brick. And you're like, no more bricks. So that's kind of where I've been at. And I just wanted to make this video to kind of touch base with people out there, so at least you know that there's help out there. You don't have to suffer alone. If you keep it to yourself, you're going to suffer. I guarantee it. You don't want to go into a reclusive place where most of us who are depressed, that's what we do. We kind of hunker down and we go into a reclusive place and we hibernate. You don't want to do that. You want to reach out for help. You want to get yourself moving a little. You also want to get your body moving, no matter what it takes, no matter what you can do. Even if it's as small as stretching your appendages, your arms and your legs. Do something to move your body. Don't just lay or sit on the couch, because that sedentariness is not helping your depression. And seasonal affective disorder is a depression. It's known as a DSM-5 disorder. It's in the book of psychological disorders. That's how I was diagnosed with it years back. And it is something that now the doctors, and they do address it, and they do recognize it as an actual disorder, an actual, disability illness, because it actually is disabling. It does keep you from functioning when it's not managed and treated. Yes, you have to manage it for the rest of your life. Well, you also have to manage diabetes, and you also have to manage high blood pressure, and you also have to manage other things. We have to manage everything. So it's just one more thing. We could just consider it taking care of ourselves. It's part of our self-care. When you care about yourself, you want to nurture yourself. And if you're experiencing depression, or if you're experiencing specifically a seasonal affective disorder, which is the winter depression, you want to practice self-care. And that's getting everything you need and treating yourself with kindness and compassion. And please, if you know anyone else who's suffering out there, be compassionate, understand what they're going through, help them to find this video and other videos about seasonal affective disorder so they don't feel alone, because that's what Healing Journey is all about. We're in this together. It's about navigating that terrain. I call it my healing journey, and you could call it yours too. Well, it's been nice visiting, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste, everyone. Be well.